Mark, very good to see you. Today, we are talking about the three big medical costs that retirees often underestimate. So, if you are retiring soon, budget more for healthcare than you're probably thinking. So, I want to show you this recent article from the Wall Street Journal, which is spotlighting three major medical costs that retirees tend to underestimate. Mark, none of these are going to come as a surprise to you, but first on their list is, of course, medications.
Yeah, so Aaron, if you think about healthcare, it's one of the biggest threats to your retirement, and we often talk to our pre-retirees and even our retirees about the threats to their retirement. And of course, medical can be a big one, but what we don't know is how sick or unsick we're going to be. But
Yeah.
either way, I think people are underestimating what the cost is. And with longer life expectancies, longevity, we really have to put this into the plan. I think we if we do anything, we have to overestimate because medications are going to get more expensive. And
Mhm.
again, depending on what those medications are and depending on what our plan is going to pay for, whether we have a supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan, those have differing ways that they're going to pay for certain types of prescriptions. So let's say we get an illness that we didn't have before, and now we're having to pay the majority of this out of pocket,
Right.
and that could cost us thousands of dollars.
Right. Right. Next, we have what the Wall Street Journal is calling medical isolation, higher costs in areas with limited healthcare access.
Yeah, so I mean, some people want to live in the mountains or live in more remote areas, and the access to healthcare is very limited. So they really have to understand if we're going to do that, or let's say we go overseas, we have to explore all those options and what those healthcare options are going to cost, because in many cases, they're going to be very costly depending on what type of healthcare we may need.
Mhm. And then last, we have concierge care. In some areas with large affluent retiree populations, doctors are increasingly turning away patients on Medicare and accepting new patients only if they pay an annual fee for this concierge medicine. And this fee averages $3,500 a year.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing here is you're right. A lot of these doctors just don't want to accept Medicare. It's really cumbersome to deal with for
Mhm.
them. So yeah, they're saying, hey, we got to make money. We want to provide a service, obviously, but you're going to have to pay more to us for that fee. So I think the big thing is if we're in highly populated
Mhm.
areas and this is becoming more and more of an option, we really have to factor this into our planning, which a lot of people aren't doing.
Right. Right. And the bottom line, healthcare, of course, in retirement isn't just about insurance, it's about planning.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's all about the planning. And I think you really want to come at it when you're creating this plan, when you create your investment policy statement, all of these things, is you really need to look at it and say, hey, what if worst case scenario happens? Do I have a surplus of capital to pay for that? And do I really understand what those threats are? Because if I understand that, now when I'm either close to retirement or early in retirement, now I can take the steps to adjust my portfolio. So in the event those things happen, it's not going to throw us off the tracks
Mhm.
and really drain our money. Because again, at the end of the day, it's all about managing loss. And we don't want to run out of money before we run out of time.
Mhm. Right. So if somebody wants to sit down with you to create this retirement plan, which has to include these huge variables in healthcare costs, Mark, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, so they can just reach out, give us a call. Our phone number is 303-681-0113. Myself, anybody on our team, we can set up an appointment, whether it's a 30-minute phone call, a Zoom call, or an in-person meeting, whichever you'd like. We can address these questions. And really, it gets down to really stress testing things. The other
Right.
way you can contact us is through our website. If you go to our website, mcgregorwealth.com, you'll find a lot of useful information, but you'll also find a link to my calendar. And you can set that up very easily because you can look at your calendar, my calendar, and set up a time. And we can do a Zoom call, same thing in office, or a phone call, whatever you'd like.
Great. Mark, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Aaron.